concerns, especially along those coastal regions. So it's something we'll continue to track as the system progresses up to the north and to the east. Right now, again, winds are sustained at 30 miles per hour. A tropical storm is possible today as it continues to push up to the northeast, but weakening is anticipated as it moves inland. It will dissipate by later tonight or early Thursday morning. So that's what we'll be expecting associated with this. As of now, I want to go through some of the alerts that are taking place. Flood warning, in Nueces, Texas. That's the county until 6 p.m. tonight. Into B, as well as Victoria in Calhoun, Texas until 11 a.m. over towards Matagorda until 8:01. Aerial flood watch in Brazoria, as well as stretching to the east a little bit further. That's to the west of the Galveston area. Zooming into Houston, we do have a World Cup game today, and I know a lot of people are headed from the DFW area to Houston. This is going to be an impactful weather day for some of us here. Right now, just light to moderate rainfall happening along the I-10 and into the city of Houston. It's the eastern areas into Harris County, as well as Chambers and Liberty County, where there's a flash flood warning going on, and it'll stay in effect until 10:30. The big issue associated with this is Houston, not a lot of drainage happens, so it doesn't take a lot of rainfall for there to be flooding in those lower lying areas. A lot of folks who are from the Houston area know this, but if you are visiting, just keep in mind that we will continue to see really hefty amounts of water accumulate in those lower lying areas just because we've seen some frequent downpours, and of course we have saturated soils. With this being said, I want to go ahead and turn on our flooding prediction. We'll go ahead and look at the flood potential, and today it is there. We're also going to look at how much rain has accumulated within the past 24 hours here, and unfortunately that's not using our radar site that we have. Let's see if we can get a better look at this. I'll go ahead to go to our composite radar and see if I could get the 24-hour. There we go. Now I can get the totals here. I was clicking on the wrong button. Excuse me for that. Past 3 days. Let's go ahead and look at the past 3 days here across the Houston area. We've seen really intense rainfall rates and totals up to 2.7 inches into the Houston area. The Woodlands have gotten 6.6. Over towards Katy, just a healthy 1.78 inches, and let's see some other impressive looking spots. Off to the east of the Woodlands, around 7.1. So it ranges anywhere from 1 inch to 7 inches of accumulation within the past 72 hours. Of course, that's what's leading to these flooding concerns in the Houston area. More rain will be expected as we continue through the rest of the day today. So just a heads up, if you're headed down to the south towards Houston today, we're going to be looking at more intense rain accumulation, and that will impact any of those people who are headed to the World Cup game into the Houston area. Now, here across North Texas, I'll go ahead and clear things out and go up to the north a little bit further. Notice that we're not seeing anything at all. North Texas is dry. That's going to be in the forecast likely through the rest of the day today. Might see a pop-up shower or storm as we head into the day tomorrow, but generally speaking, most of us are going to stay just dry. We hold on to a lot of that moisture. We have those southerly winds that are pumping in a lot of that tropical moisture, so it's going to feel absolutely sticky outside, and that's going to play a big factor into our forecast into DFW, because temperatures will be climbing into the middle to upper 90s, but the moisture content in the atmosphere will make it feel like the triple digits. In fact, we do have a heat advisory that will be in effect as we move into the day tomorrow. I'll get into that forecast in just a minute, but again, for those of us who are just joining us, I'm tracking potential tropical cyclone 1. It has the potential of becoming the first named storm of the year of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. And if it doesn't, it's still going to be bringing impactful rainfall. It's going to continue to move up to the northeast as we move throughout the rest of the day today. So it's something to keep in mind, especially for those of us who are going to the World Cup game in Houston. That's our biggest concern. We want those folks to stay safe. I want to go ahead and switch over to our graphics now and talk about the future cast of potential Tropical Cyclone 1. As it continues to move to the north and to the east, likely to strengthen as we move through the day today. We're talking about the next 12 to 24 hours. If it does not, then tomorrow morning, it's likely to lose its strength. Why? Because it starts to move inland. Now, the thing is a lot of people get a little bit confused whenever we do talk about these tropical systems. If it does become a tropical storm, so it increases the wind speeds to about 40 miles per hour, then that's when we get a name, and that's when it's a tropical system. That's when it can make landfall. If it does not become a tropical storm, then it is not considered to make landfall. It's just moving inland. It's still just a low pressure system. So that's something, just to get into the technical terms here, that's something we're going to continue to watch as the system moves to the north and to the east. Again, likely to strengthen throughout the day today, by later on this afternoon into the evening hours, becoming about 40 miles per hour, still bringing some gusty winds into the coast and bringing lots of heavy rainfall. Those are the main concerns here as it continues to trek up to the north and to the east into Louisiana. By tomorrow morning, we're looking at it weakening, becoming a tropical depression if it does strengthen, and then winds will still be around 30 miles per hour sustained by tomorrow morning. Low pressure system right now, it's to the north of Corpus Christi, and it's bringing impacts along the coast, especially over towards Galveston and over into the far central and far western areas along the Gulf of Louisiana. So it'll continue to track across the I-10 corridor as we move into the evening hours tonight and into tomorrow morning, and then impact those in central Louisiana by tomorrow morning. So something to keep in mind. We do have tropical storm alerts in effect along the coastal regions, which just basically means within the next 12 to 24 hours, more tropical storm impacts will be expected. Potential for some intense waves, as well as gusty winds, and of course the heavy rainfall leading to flooding. Here's the names for our 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. Arthur is the first name. So if this does intensify, it will get the name Arthur. If it doesn't, then it's just a low pressure system that developed in the Gulf. Then here are the rest of the names for the rest of the season. Now let's talk about accumulation totals. Up to 5 to 10 inches will be possible anywhere shaded in red. Notice that just another couple of inches will be possible over into the Houston area and over into portions along the Gulf of Texas. It's over into the Gulf of Louisiana where more heavy, steady downpours will be anticipated. And as the system continues to track up into the central Gulf, that's where more hefty accumulation will be likely. And that's why we're going to hold on to those flood alerts and the potential for even severe weather as we move into the day for some of those areas along the central Gulf. Additional rainfall up to 4 to 7 inches, accumulation totals up to 10 inches are going to be a possibility. Through Friday evening, some of these alerts are going to stay in effect from Birmingham over to Montgomery. That's going to include Atlanta, Panama City, Mobile, and New Orleans, Jackson, but over across our area into Texas, Lake Charles, Houston, Galveston, even New Orleans and Alexandria. Those flood alerts are just in effect for the next 12 to 24 hours. What we want to keep in mind today is the excessive rainfall outlook. Yes, we're tracking the Gulf, but we also have a big system that's going to move through a good chunk of the Ohio River Valley into the Great Lake region. They are going to be anticipating the potential for tornadic development up there. So if you're traveling there, just keep that in mind too. We're not only watching for this potential tropical cyclone 1, we're also watching for another big weather maker in portions of the upper Midwest stretching into the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. Here, again, tomorrow, we're going to be anticipating the heaviest rain to be into Montgomery and Mobile. That's a level 3 out of 4 threat for excessive rainfall, meaning scattered to numerous instances of flooding is going to be a possibility. Now, the bad news is whenever we do see these risks, a level 3 out of 4 threat, it typically means, usually in these days, at least I should say, 1 in 5 deaths happen because of flash flooding. So we want to make sure everybody is taking precautions, not driving through flooded road waters, and of course keeping your eye to the sky. Friday, more rain will be anticipated not only across the Gulf thanks to that system, but we have another system that'll swing through. That'll provide us with an isolated chance of flash flooding here across the Metroplex and across North Texas for eastern counties, a level 2 out risk for scattered instances of flooding. Why is this all happening? What's the big weather story for the day? High pressure system dominating in the upper levels of the atmosphere, keeping us really hot across the desert Southwest and the western half of the United States. We have that big system that'll swing through portions of the Ohio Valley as well as into the Great Lakes today. Really intense storms, potential for tornadic development. If you have any friends or family there, make sure you're checking up on them. Meanwhile, we have heavy rain and flooding along the Gulf thanks to potential tropical cyclone 1, who may strengthen and become a tropical storm moving through the day today. Lots of heavy rain and flooding is the primary threat along the Gulf. Now let's talk about North Texas and the Lone Star State. Heat index values up to 110 degrees will be possible as we move through the day tomorrow and even into Friday morning for some of us. It's going to be a really hot forecast here across the Lone Star State and into portions of eastern New Mexico, and that also includes central Oklahoma. We have excessive heat warnings. That's going to include Austin and San Antonio. But over towards Dallas, Abilene, Lubbock, that's a heat advisory. Make sure you're taking precautions, drinking plenty of water. It's not only going to be hot into the day tomorrow, but the heat really kicks on through the day today. 79 degrees. Good morning to you, Arlington. We do have a big game today. Winds out from the southeast around 11 miles per hour. It's going to feel even hotter outside. Keep that in mind if you're headed to Dallas Stadium for the England versus Croatia game. We're talking about 3 p.m. is when the game starts, and it will be hot. It will be 93 degrees by the time we head into the start of the game. But again, it'll feel like 102. It'll be sunny. Winds out from the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Right now across North Texas, not seeing too much activity whatsoever. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover through the rest of the day today. Tomorrow we start clear and a couple pop-up showers, maybe a few storms for our eastern counties as we move into Friday. But generally speaking, we're likely to stay dry today and into the day tomorrow. It's that frontal system that swings through, creates the chance for some showers and storms moving into Juneteenth, chance for more activity into Saturday, and that's the case into Father's Day. I'm giving us about a 20% chance. The next week, still holding on for a chance for some rainfall. Again, first alert weather day in store for you tomorrow because of extreme heat. Heat index values up to 110 degrees. It's going to be hot today, tomorrow, going into Friday, and that's the case into Saturday. Here's a look once again at your 7-day forecast. It's 94 degrees, your forecast high today. It'll feel more like the triple digits. It'll be hot. If you're going to the World Cup game, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Tomorrow, first alert weather day, 99's forecast high, but it'll feel more like 110. Excessive heat will be anticipated. Make sure you're taking precautions, taking frequent breaks into the AC. This weekend, chance for some storms for your Juneteenth holiday, and that will also include your entire Father's Day weekend. Temperatures will be hot as well. So again, make sure you are taking precautions. Astronomical summer starts on Sunday, and it'll start with a bang. Look at that, 98 degrees, but of course, it'll feel even hotter than that. Thank you so much for joining us here on our live stream at CBS News Texas. Join us on our CBS News app, Pluto TV, the Roku channel, and Samsung TV Plus for more updates. We'll be back. We'll have another update at 10 a.m. Have a great day.
This is CBS News, Texas.
Let's get over to assignment editor Danica Hill, who's live in our newsroom.
So, Danica, I understand you're following a shooting that happened overnight in Dallas. What do you know so far?
Yeah, that's right. We do know that Dallas police are searching for suspects accused of shooting and killing a woman who they say was just caught in the crossfire. So I want you to take a look at some of the video we were able to get from the scene. It happened really early this morning at an apartment complex near Walnut Street and Aldelia Road in the North Lake Highlands neighborhood. Now, according to police there on the scene, they say the two suspects were shooting at each other, and then they hit that woman. She was taken to the hospital, but again, did later die. And you could see just a large police presence there as they're working to investigate all of this. Right now, police don't have any suspect information, and it's also not clear exactly what led up to this. Police are asking for anybody with information to contact them. If you are in the area, saw anything, heard anything, to please contact police. I have reached out to Dallas Police this morning to try and get some more details. As soon as we get those in, I'll bring them to you here from the desk.
Today could be a pivotal day for the future of Dallas City Hall. The City Council is expected to vote on a planning relocation site for the City Hall, shifting momentum away from repairs. And what we're hearing now is from the building's architect's family, who is now trying to save it. Lacey Beasley joins us from City Hall with that side of the story and that family's reaction. Good morning, Lacey.
Good morning, Madison. And the name of that famous architect is I.M. Pei. He designed this building right after JFK's assassination, and his goal was to bring hope back to the city. Now his surviving children are fighting to keep Dallas City Hall here and their father's legacy.
He invested a great deal of time. It took almost a decade to build, to design it, to build. And so it is one of the most important projects in his career.
Today, the council votes on whether to start negotiating and planning relocation sites for City Hall. The city estimates repairs to the current building could cost more than $500 million. Last week, the council rejected moving forward with those repairs in a 9-6 vote. In a memo this week, Mayor Eric Johnson wrote that, quote, relocation will be a far more cost-effective use of taxpayer dollars, calling City Hall, quote, a dilapidated government office building, though the Pei family sees it differently.
I think to lose such a building of such enormous architectural significance would be enormous loss to the city of Dallas and to the nation.
Now, city leaders say repairs are an option, though it's not the focus right now. And that special meeting starts in less than an hour at 8 o'clock.
Well, this morning, one person is dead and at least 5 others are hurt after a small jet crashed down in South Texas overnight.
So the Cessna Citation Latitude business jet crashed Tuesday night, hitting the ground. You see there in the middle of a highway. That's Laredo's Loop 20. The crash shut down traffic in both directions, and you see from that witness video that was taken from the scene, emergency crews and also bystanders all trying to help people get out of that burning aircraft. An airport official says the plane might have experienced some sort of mechanical failure, which could have played a factor in that crash.
We also have video this morning that shows the moment Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice ran out of the Dallas County Jail after his release on Tuesday morning. So our cameras were rolling outside the jail there as one of our photographers tried to ask Rice some questions, but he quickly hopped in a car and then he rode away.
Hey, Rashee, you got anything to say to your fans, bro?
All right, that was our photojournalist, Tim Anders. He was trying to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. The former SMU star, he ran out after serving 30 days for a parole violation following his plea deal from a high-speed crash that happened back in 2024. The Chiefs say they expect him back on the field very soon.
We are halfway through the year and now 100 days from the State Fair of Texas, and all the iconic fun of the fair returns to Fair Park in September. The State Fair announcing this morning the free Chevrolet Main Stage music lineup. Fairgoers will be able to experience all sorts of different genres of live music. We've got Lee Brice, Clint Black, Kansas, Gym Class Heroes, and the Toadies, and a few other performers as well. The full list is available right now on the State Fair's website. By the way, go ahead and mark that calendar because the State Fair of Texas begins September 25th and runs through October 18th.
So many people already counting down the clock. Well, the second World Cup match in North Texas is now just hours away. England and Croatia open their World Cup run this afternoon over at Dallas Stadium in Arlington.
And Lauren Crawford is live once again this morning at Lowe's Hotel in Arlington. Good morning, Lauren.
Hey, good morning, Madison. That's right. And this is one of the most highly anticipated matches of the group stage. Now, England and Croatia will meet here at the Dallas Stadium on the field at 3 o'clock. And for England, it's a chance to rewrite a disappointing chapter in its World Cup history. Now, today's game is a rematch of the 2018 World Cup semifinal. Croatia won that one, then played in the final. England has not lost to them since and comes in as a favorite to win the whole thing. England's captain, 32-year-old Harry Harry Kane is his country's all-time top scorer. Meanwhile, Croatia fans filled the streets of downtown Dallas last night in a huge parade ahead of this game, a spectacle rivaling the Dutch crowds wearing all orange last week. Now, back out here live in Arlington, there's also a local connection here today. Croatia's expected striker Peter Musa actually plays right here for FC Dallas. And coming up in the next 30 minutes, we'll take a look at how fans from both teams kicked off celebrations last night and throughout the week, leading up to today's highly anticipated game. Live in Arlington, Lauren Crawford, CBS News, Texas.
Michael, you've warned us that things are really starting to heat up around here in North Texas. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Carmen and Madison. Yes, we're going to really start to heat up here across North Texas. Today, temperatures will be into the middle 90s. Feels like temperatures as hot as 105 and 106. Hour by hour throughout the day, we see a lot of sunshine, but it'll certainly be a hot day. Tomorrow, it's a first alert weather day. We have a heat advisory in place. Feels like temperatures as hot as 110 degrees. I'll break that all down for you coming up.
Welcome back. President Donald Trump is in France for his final day at the G7 summit. He's scheduled to hold a press conference later on this morning, and that's 2 days now before the scheduled signing of the U.S.-Iran agreement. CBS News correspondent Tina Krause is in London with those details.
President Trump posing for a picture with world leaders at the G7 summit as he sells the U.S.-Iran agreement as a positive step forward.
Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. And it says it loud and clear. They're not going to develop it. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to do anything with it.
The text of the deal to end the war with Iran has not been made public, with an in-person signing scheduled for Friday in Switzerland. That's drawing criticism from Democratic lawmakers.
He needs to stop keeping America in the dark after more than 100 days of bloodshed.
I just have one basic question, which is, if this deal is so good,
Why can't the public see it?
Even some Republicans are reserving judgment.
I think we'd all like to see the terms of the memorandum and hopefully end up with a real deal.
President Trump is directing his critiques at Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after Israel struck Beirut, targeting Iran-backed Hezbollah fighters just as the agreement was finalized.
Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody.
Netanyahu is vowing to keep forces in southern Lebanon as long as needed, saying the struggle has not ended. Iran says their presence violates the U.S.-Iran deal to end the war. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
By the way, tensions from the war continue to be felt amid the FIFA Men's World Cup. Iran's match against New Zealand Monday night ended in a draw, and that match was played in California. Then soon after, the coach of Iran's team said that they were told to leave the U.S. and return to their base in Mexico. Now, the team's coach did not say who ordered the Iranian members to leave earlier than expected. CNN reports a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security said that Iranian team had actually agreed to those terms. Back in May, the president of the Iran Football Federation announced Iran's home base would move from Tucson, Arizona to Mexico because of uncertainty in the Middle East. The team's coach says that travel disruptions have not allowed his athletes to recover properly. Iran is scheduled to play against Belgium on Sunday.
reached 14.4%, just shy of the recommended 15% target. So is this another case of feeling bad but doing well? Maybe for some, but there are warning signs. The share of workers with an outstanding 401k loan climbed to 19.2%. 2.5% of participants are making hardship withdrawals. Those numbers are not worrisome yet, but indicate some people are in financial distress. As a reminder, tapping retirement assets should be a last resort. In New York, I'm Jill Schlesinger.
Good morning. I'm First Alert meteorologist Michael Ottavino. Happy Wednesday. We have two big stories to cover in terms of weather. We have the potential tropical system, which you could see right below me into the Gulf, and we also have the Texas heat that really amplifies as you look ahead into tomorrow. So let's start with this tropical system. Right now, the center of circulation is just off the Corpus Christi coast, and we will see this continue to potentially strengthen as we move over the next 24 to 48 hours. And if it does, it'll be our first named storm of the year, and this would become Arthur. This is going to bring widespread heavy rain, gusty winds, and flooding to the Gulf Coast, especially into areas like southern Louisiana. We've already seen plenty of flooding into southern Texas and even into portions of Mississippi and Alabama as we move into the coming days. Let's focus now on the heat here across the DFW. I mean, it's going to be so hot as we move ahead into tomorrow. I'm tracking temperatures that feel as hot as 110 degrees. So here we go. Here's what we're tracking. For today, heat index values will be at 100 degrees or greater. When you hear these terms, heat index values, feels like temperatures, they are interchangeable. They mean the same thing. All that means is the temperature it's going to feel like once you factor in the humidity. Tomorrow, heat advisory in place. That means the heat will be at the dangerous level. We'll see feels like temperatures as hot as 110 degrees. And then we see our rain chance to return to the forecast as we move ahead to late Thursday. But it's not going to do much for us. Our temperatures will still feel more like the triple digits. So here we go. First alert weather day in place for tomorrow due to the extreme heat area wide. So when you wake up tomorrow, it's already going to be hot. I mean, temperatures tomorrow morning, middle to upper 70s, and then moving ahead for the next couple of days. Take a look at what it will start to feel like. It'll feel like 110 by Thursday, feeling like 107 by Friday. Our actual temperatures into those middle to upper 90s. Maybe we get a 100-degree day for tomorrow. I mean, even if we don't hit that, it's definitely going to feel like it. Moving ahead into the weekend, we still see feels like temperatures into the triple digits. And it looks like this heat will stay with us into next week. Take a look at the future feels like temperatures. Here's this afternoon, feeling like 103 at DFW Airport, feeling like 104 in Corsicana. Looking ahead to Thursday evening, feeling like 112 in Wichita Falls, feeling like the triple digits area wide. So we're not really getting much of a break from this heat, and we will still see our temperatures continue to amplify and continue to be on the increase as we move ahead for the next couple of days. One more time for potential tropical cyclone 1. Here's the center of circulation just off the Corpus Christi coast. It's going to make its way northeast, and then it should make landfall late tonight or early tomorrow morning into the southern half of Louisiana. Your First Alert 7-day forecast. Let's break it down day by day. We got a lot going on here. For today, 10% chance of a shower or two near areas like Corsicana or Palestine. Most of North Texas today will be dry. Feels like temperatures this afternoon right around 104, 105 degrees. If you're heading out to Arlington to see the World Cup game, remember to stay hydrated. Tomorrow, First Alert weather day. We're near 100 degrees. Feels like temperatures at 110. And then we see the 90s into next week. We'll be back after the break.
It's been 25 years since Shrek and Donkey first joined forces in Shrek, and now the successful franchise continues the announcement with Shrek 5. So here's a sneak peek.
Shrek and Donkey off on another... No, don't say it. Two stalwart friends. That's not what this is. On a whirlwind... Donkey. Big city. Oh, I'm caked up like a friggin' bakery.
I mean, I'm a grown woman and I still think Shrek is hilarious. So this newly released trailer teases another humorous adventure that, excuse me, that leaves Shrek, Fiona, their kids, and Donkey all locked up. Shrek 5 heads to theaters next summer, and so far there are no plot details beyond what's in that teaser there. But it's described as a thrilling, magical new comedy adventure. So we shall see.
I believe it.
Me
yeah.
too.
I mean, Shrek's iconic. The fact that we've had 5 of them so far is also shocking. But yeah, it's worth doing remakes for sure.
Can't wait to see it.
Okay, meantime, there's been some serious shade shown between some other animated favorites, and it's coming from an unlikely place. We're talking about Sesame Street. Cookie Monster took a dig at the neighborhood's most wholesome resident, Elmo. At the recently completed NBA Finals as it was starting, Elmo innocently posted on X that he hoped both teams had fun. Well, Sesame Street is not actually a real place, but it is modeled after New York, and some real-life New Yorkers took issue with Elmo refusing to take the side of his, quote, hometown team. Well, Cookie Monster joined them after the Knicks won the championship, posting, quote, Elmo teach me not to eat trophy, me teach Elmo to pick a team.
Oh my goodness.
Cookie Monster,
I
man.
mean, this is getting a little rough.
Is that the official Cookie Monster, though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it? We'll see. Chris Stapleton and the Smashing Pumpkins will perform at a massive 4th of July concert over in LA. And Queen Latifah is set to host the show at the city's Memorial Coliseum with more acts to follow. So this event is all part of a celebration of America's 250th birthday, organized by the nonprofit America 250. So the LA show anchors a worldwide multi-city celebration called America's Block Party. We love a good block party, by the way. We do.
We do.
You do, too. We both do.
All right, meantime, the Grammy Awards announced 5 new categories and updated rules for next year's show. The new categories include Best Asian Pop Music Performance, Best R&B Collaboration or Duo Group Performance, Best Traditional Pop Vocal Performance, Best Traditional Folk Album, and Best Latin Song. Another change happening, the maximum number of times an artist can be submitted has been increased from 3 to 4, and the concept of what's considered a new album has also changed. And songwriters, they will get more recognition with contributors to winning albums in most categories receiving Grammy statuettes.
This is CBS News, Texas.
So let's get over to assignment editor Danica Hill. She's in a newsroom for us right now. Danica, you're actually following the latest on a credit card skimmer scheme here in North Texas. So what do we know about this so far this morning?
Yeah, that's right. We've got 5 people now behind bars accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of diesel, all using a card skimming device. So here's some of the information that we do know this morning. Garland police first reached out to state officials back in April for help investigating the reports of stolen fuel and stolen card numbers. Now, investigators estimate that the group of suspects stole between 7,500 gallons and 15,000 gallons of diesel per week during this operation. Authorities were able to execute warrants to arrest 4 people in Arlington and Irving on Friday. You can see them on your screen. And then a 5th person was arrested just this week while arriving on a flight from Mexico. Now, investigators shared these pictures that you can see on your screen of the skimmers that were recovered during this operation. And those skimmers appear to snap on to those real devices, and that is what's able to allow them to steal that credit card data. Now, police say it is always a good idea to keep a close eye on your bank statements, making sure that everything looks right. Of course, they are going to continue to watch and monitor this. Officers also suggest using cash where you can to avoid these type of situations. But that's what we're looking at here at the desk.
All right, Danica, certainly good advice there. Thank you so much. Well, the World Cup spotlight shifts back to North Texas for today. But before Croatia takes the field against England this afternoon, its fans turn Dallas into a sea here of red, white, and checkerboard patterns. So our Lauren Crawford is live for us in Arlington over at Lowe's Hotel in the entertainment district this morning with a look at that celebration. Lauren, this looked like it was so much fun yesterday. Good morning.
Well, if you thought the party wouldn't start until kickoff today, well, you're wrong. Think again, because Croatian supporters took over the streets of downtown Dallas last night ahead of today's highly anticipated matchup. Take a listen.
Nothing compares to international soccer for me.
You feel this atmosphere, the feeling, the blood, the energy, this is who we are, what we are. And
hundreds of fans marched through downtown waving flags and singing national songs. For many, this is more than a soccer match. It's a chance to celebrate their culture on a global stage. Today, that energy moves from the streets of downtown Dallas to Dallas Stadium right here in Arlington. And in Fort Worth, CBS News Texas was in the stockyards last night as England fans went out for a fun night before the game. We spotted fans hopping on horse statues, taking pictures with police officers, dancing to live music, and even telling us they are trying frozen margaritas for the first time. And of course, Texas barbecue. England fans even broke into their signature soccer chants while out at the bars. And all that passion from both teams will be on display again here at Dallas Stadium at 3 o'clock. Now, the last time that the two teams met for a World Cup was back in 2018. That is when Croatia sent England home. So, of course, those 3 Lions are going to be looking for some payback later on today. Live in Arlington, Lauren Crawford, CBS News, Texas.
The animals are getting in on the FIFA fun, including the Lions. So look at this. Despite being England's mascot, the lion at the Dallas Zoo posted that they picked Croatia, Team Croatia, to win during the soccer-themed enrichment time. Now, it might be a little awkward for England fans since, you know, the lion is their mascot, but we'll see if the Pride's prediction comes true later today.
And if you plan on seeing whether or not those Lions are right at the match in person, good news is Dart has fixed their issues with their ticket vending machines from yesterday. So the service was down. This was while cameras were being upgraded on that platform. And instead of buying a physical train ticket, you can also download the GoPass app to purchase a fare right from your phone. So if you're using Dart, you can take a ride to Victory Station and then get on the TRE after paying for a train ticket. And once you get to Centerport Station, you can show your ticket to the match and get a free bus ride over to Dallas Stadium. They make it easy for you. And as a reminder, if you don't have a ticket to the game, there are still plenty of fun ways that you can watch. FIFA Fan Fest over at Fair Park will be broadcasting every FIFA game these next few weeks, as well as over at Clyde Warren Park. So if you live in Fort Worth, Sundance Square is also going to be holding watch parties for you. And then in Frisco, the city and the FC Dallas will be showing those matches at Simpson Plaza. And of course, during this summer of soccer, you can actually find everything that you need to know about the World Cup and the latest on those matches right on our website at cbsnewstexas.com.
Well, STAR test results are out and overall scores across the state are up. But according to the Texas Education Agency, overall performance in math improved 43% to 45% of students meeting grade level or above. Now, these are the best numbers since that test was redesigned in the 2022-2023 school year. In reading, language arts, another upward trend, improvement from 54 to 55% of students meeting grade level or above. And in social studies, improvement from 49 to 51% of students meeting grade level or above. So you might be wondering, why are all these scores important? Well, all public and charter school students are required to take the state-mandated standardized test, and the results are used to evaluate student progress and ensure school district accountability. Now, those test scores are what triggered state takeovers for both Fort Worth ISD and Lake Worth ISD. Scores in both districts still remain below the state averages right now. And if you want to know what your individual STAR score reports are, they are now available through your local school district's family portal or by visiting texasassessment.gov using the unique access code provided by your child's school. It is worth reminding that the STAR test will be soon eliminated and replaced with 3 shorter tests given throughout the school year. That new format starts in the 2027-2028 school year.
Well, today could be a pivotal day for Dallas City Halls. The City Council is expected to vote on whether or not to start negotiating and planning relocation sites for City Hall. The city estimates repairs to the current building could cost more than $500 million. Just last week, the council rejected moving forward with those repairs in a 9-6 vote. And in the next 30 minutes, a new H-E-B in Irving is set to open its doors for the first time. This location is at 635 and Olympus Boulevard in front of the former Fry's Electronics store. This will be the first H-E-B in Dallas County. We've seen people line up already, and the doors officially open up at 6 o'clock, which is about 20 minutes away.
And there's always a lot of fanfare.
Yep.
So if you are trying to go to that H-E-B today, just be aware that 635 Olympus probably will have a lot of extra traffic. And by the way, Michael, not a bad night for those folks that did camp out. It was pretty calm overnight weather-wise.
Yes, it was pretty calm overnight. It was certainly on the warmer side. And speaking of warm temperatures, we're actually going to get hot here in DFW. Hour by hour throughout the day for today. By noon, we're already into about those middle to upper 80s. Feels like temperatures into the 90s. Take a look at this. By 4 o'clock today, feels like temperatures at 103 degrees. And then for tomorrow, we will be feeling more like 110 degrees. I'll talk more about this and let you know if there's any relief from the heat in sight coming up.
Meantime, as Croatia prepares to take the pitch today in North Texas, one McKinney developer is sharing his special connection to the team. Jeff Blackard says that Adricia was inspired by the Croatian coastline and incorporates a lot of the country's signature architectural features. Over the years, many Croatians have visited, including the national team back in 2018.
Win the World Cup in 2018. They did the friendly against Mexico at Jerry World, right? And the team asked me to host them for that weekend, which I did. And they wanted to come see the Croatian village. And then that big house over there, we had a barbecue.
Well, he says the Croatian flag will be flying high over Andriacia today, all for the match against England. The World Cup has been going on for 96 years, and while the sport of soccer has changed a lot over the last century, so has the ball itself. Michael George looks into the history of the soccer ball and how they're being made.
As millions of eyes follow the soccer ball at the World Cup, fans may not realize there's a secret hidden inside those match balls. It's a high-tech sensor that Adidas calls connected ball technology.
There's an accelerometer and a gyroscope that's measuring everything that happens with the ball, so every pass, every kick.
Adidas football innovation lead Hanna Schäfke says the goal of this data is to help referees make offsides or handball foul calls faster.
How do you get all this technology in here without affecting the weight of the ball and how it plays on the field?
We worked so hard to counterbalance the chip. We're making sure that this little thing doesn't affect the ball in any way negatively.
Even the outside of the ball underwent rigorous testing and a redesign to be more aerodynamic. But after a close look at the upgraded 2026 tournament ball, we wanted to see how they constructed the ball of the past. This workshop in Glen Rock, New Jersey is low-tech compared to the Adidas lab in Germany. Here, Paul Cunningham, founder of Leatherhead Sports, makes vintage soccer balls the old-fashioned way.
The traditional balls were sewn together.
They cut out leather panels, sew them together, inflate them, and hand-lace them. This is a recreation of the ball from the first World Cup in 1930.
First thing I noticed, it is heavier.
This particular ball is, made from boot leather, and it's a heavy boot leather.
Do you think this is kind of a lost art?
I believe so. I mean, there really aren't too many people in the U.S. making sports balls.
While the ball has changed over 100 years, the love of the game hasn't. Fans still get a kick out of it. Michael George, CBS News, Glen Rock, New Jersey.
This, Elizabeth, is just in your blood.
I started coming out here when I was 9.
Is that you?
Yeah. Mommy loves you, Zoe.
Hello there.
Oh my goodness.
Good to see you.
I didn't think I'd get choked up.
And I don't have anybody saying that I inspire them.
You inspire me. That's really remarkable.
You need your neighbors. Your neighbor might be the only person who can rescue you.
Treat everybody with loving kindness.
Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Lauren Boswick with a look at your first alert weather update. Just in from the National Hurricane Center, Tropical Storm Arthur has officially formed in the Gulf and will continue to track up to the northeast as we move through the rest of the day today. Trajectory is to the northeast at about 9 miles per hour. We're watching this tropical storm, which means it finally upgraded. We're looking at winds that are sustained at 40 miles per hour. That's why it is deemed a tropical storm and not just a low pressure system anymore, because of the winds and of course because of all the impacts that will be expected. Not only are we going to be looking at rainfall accumulations 5 to 10 inches with isolated totals up to 20 inches, tropical storm force winds, which are 39 miles per hour up to 73 miles per hour, will be associated with this system as it continues to trek up to the northeast at about 9 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds are 40 miles per hour. I'm not anticipating too much strengthening as we move throughout the rest of this afternoon into the evening hours. However, we will continue to watch the system as it moves up to the northeast. Looks like max winds could get up to maybe 45 miles per hour, but I'm not anticipating them to become anywhere near 60 or even 70 miles per hour today. Just a heads up there. However, regardless of that, intense winds will be anticipated, but also we're going to be looking at really hefty rainfall, and that's going to lead to the biggest concern as we head throughout the rest of the day today for those of us along the Gulf. DFW, if you're tuning in for your forecast, right now we are just dry and we're not going to be anticipating too much impactful weather. We basically have a stalled frontal system that's kind of hanging out. It turned into just a dry line that is set up across the southern half of Texas, and it's just inhibiting that moisture to really, or the rainfall, I should say, to really move into our vicinity. So we will continue to hold on to a southerly breeze and some gustier winds today across the Metroplex, but generally speaking, we're not going to be anticipating any showers or storms. It'll stay dry, just hot and muggy. It's really over into the Houston area that we're concerned about the potential for flooding. In fact, we have lots of flood alerts that are in effect for the eastern areas. We're talking about Harris County, which is Houston. It's just the eastern side of it. Over towards Harris County until 10:30 this morning, we have a flash flood warning that will include Chambers as well as Liberty County. Again, into those spots, active flooding concerns are happening. So make sure if you have any friends or family, you're touching base with them, or anybody who's traveling to the World Cup game today in Houston. Again, more rain will be felt as we move throughout the day today. Accumulation totals anywhere from 2 to 4 inches will be possible. So just a heads up there, all of that's going to move into the lowest lying areas and create some flooding concerns into Houston and down into the Galveston, Lake Jackson, Port Arthur, and Beaumont location. And that also is going to include the I-10 corridor stretching from Houston over to Beaumont and Lafayette. So if you live in those spots or you have friends or families who are in those areas, make sure that they're taking precautions. We're going to continue to see more heavy plumes of moisture move through the area through the rest of the day today. We do have flash flood alerts and flood watch in effect, I should say, as we move throughout the rest of the day. And Weather Prediction Center, I'll get into that in just a minute, has a level 3 out of 4 risk for flooding. And on those days where we have that heightened flooding potential, unfortunately, 1 out of 5 fatalities happen into those spots. Well, we do see that level 3 out of 4 risk. So you want to make sure that your friends, family, and yourself, if you're traveling to these locations, are staying actively precautious throughout the rest of the day today. Again, flash flood warning for the eastern Houston area over towards the Lake Jackson region. We're talking about Brazoria County as well as over into, well, that is just a big county, Brazoria County. Aerial flood warning in effect until 10:45. I'll go ahead and take you off to the east a little bit further. Now we're talking Jefferson and Hardin County, flash flood warning until 9:58 p.m. Up towards Polk and Liberty, another flood warning that's going to include over towards some parishes into Louisiana, including the I-10 corridor, and including Jefferson Davis Parish, stretching all the way up into Rapids Parish. We are looking at a flood warning that's in effect. I would assume that's from a river overflowing into those spots. Lafayette and New Iberia also starting to pick up on really heavy, steady rainfall into southern Louisiana. Something we'll also keep in mind as the system trajects to the north and to the east. Rainfall accumulation totals as of right now Looks like associated with Arthur, which is now a tropical storm. If you're just now tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. It's just now been considered a tropical storm. We saw strengthening from the earlier update this morning. National Hurricane Center usually gives the big updates every 6 hours, so we'll have another one at 4 p.m. today and then another one at 10 p.m. tonight. Those are the big updates, but since this is an active system, we get small updates every 3 hours, so it's something we'll continue to keep in mind. But it is now the first name tropical system of the season. It is moving up to the north and to the east. It is very disorganized showers and thunderstorms. It doesn't have a depicted center to it, so it's not as traditional as what we typically would think of whenever we do see those tropical systems. However, it is bringing lots of heavy, steady showers. Most of the activity is actually in the Gulf right now over the open waters, and that's creating some really wavy conditions. So waves will be anticipated, potential for some dangerous storm surge today, especially at high tide, and high tide's happening right now through the morning in the early afternoon. So we'll continue to watch that. That's going to lead to some flooding concerns, especially along our immediate Gulf Coast areas. Winds upwards of around 40 to 45 miles per hour will also be anticipated with this system. So over into the Houston, Port Arthur, Beaumont, Galveston, and into the coastal areas of Louisiana, that's going to be a concern as well, because we already have saturated soil, so it doesn't take too hard of a wind gust to knock over some trees or power lines, even though these areas are really built for these systems to pass through. Again, we're going to continue to watch this as it moves to the north and to the east. I want to go ahead and take you to our graphics to show you more about what's going to be happening today. Right now, I don't think I gave you the minimum central pressure of this system. Arthur is at 1,001 millibars. Its trajectory, once again, to the northeast at 9 miles per hour. Sustained winds are at 40 miles per hour right now. And the location is about 190 miles to the southwest of Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's also about 40 miles to the east-northeast of Port O'Connor. So it's something we'll continue to watch. Tropical storm warning is in effect for the High Island, Texas to Morgan City, Louisiana. Tropical storm watch, which means you're watching out for the potential of tropical storm impacts, is in effect from Sargent, Texas to High Island, Texas. So regardless, we're going to be looking at tropical storm impacts within the next 12 hours, and that's going to be the case for the watch as well. We're talking winds upwards of around 40 to 45 miles per hour, and the trajectory, again, to the northeast. And as it continues to move to the northeast, we'll watch it eventually move inland, and once it does, then that's going to start to lose its strength significantly. I'll go ahead and talk about this a little bit more. Again, it's going to continue to move to the northeast by later on tonight, losing some strength. So then it will be downgraded to a tropical depression as it does make its way inland. And then as it continues to traject up to the north and to the east a little bit further. Now we're talking about tomorrow morning into the overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. 25 mile per hour winds will be associated with it. It's disorganized right now, so I'm not likely seeing any strengthening happening with this or organization. So we'll still hold on to some gustier winds, but it's just going to be a cluster of that heavy rain that'll be moving into Louisiana. Some of these outer bands could spin up maybe a tornado along a weak tornado or an alien spout that forms in the water and moves inland. Then it would be considered a tornado. So that's also going to be a concern associated with this system as it does continue to move up to the northeast today. Again, tropical storm watch and warning is in effect along the coastline of Texas into Louisiana. So heads up, that's going to be in effect for pretty much the next 12 hours. As it continues to move up to the north and to the east, that's when it's going to start to lose its strength. It's looking like it will be moving through Alexandria as we move into the day tomorrow. So if you have any friends or family over there, just make sure they're taking precautions. Gusty winds could knock down some power lines, as well as we're looking at some issues whenever it comes to flooding. That's going to be one of the primary threats. We just got Arthur as the named storm. So as we move into the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, Bertha is going to be the next named system. And right now, Not looking at any areas of development other than this one. But of course, we will keep you up to date with all the latest information as it does come in from the National Hurricane Center. Let's talk about rainfall totals. They will be impressive, especially into the Central Gulf, which is interesting because right now it's moving across the Gulf of Texas, and it's going to continue to track up to the north and to the east. But notice all of those red shades are going to pop up into the Central Gulf. Why is that going to be happening? Well, the system, still going to be a low pressure system, it'll move into the Central Gulf, but we have a sufficient amount of moisture it'll be tapped into. Anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain accumulation will be possible into the Central Gulf, and that's going to be possible through Friday. So the Texas region is going to be dealing with this for the next 12 hours, but the Central Gulf is going to be dealing with the system as we move through the rest of this week. Again, additional rainfall totals 4 to 7 inches, isolated intense heavy accumulation upwards of 10 inches will be a possibility. This is why flood alerts are going to stay in effect through Friday. Flood alerts across Texas will eventually drop off in the next 12 to 24 hours. Let's talk about precipitation and also storm chances today. We're also going to be looking at some storm chances up into the Ohio River Valley and across the Great Lake region. Into those spots actually are looking at a level 4 out of 5 threat for severe weather, but also a level 3 out of 4 threat for excessive rainfall. And that's going to include Chicago. They're in the bullseye for really heavy rainfall. So it's not only us that will be dealing with really heavy accumulation totals, it's also for our friends up into the Midwest, as well as the upper Midwest, I should say, and over into the Great Lake region. But an excessive rainfall outlook is also going to encompass portions of Louisiana and into the Central Gulf through the day today, and that's going to include areas into southern Alabama, Mississippi, as well as Georgia and the panhandle of Florida headed into the day tomorrow. And that's also going to include some of those areas into Friday. Notice Friday we have an excessive rainfall outlook here across North Texas. That's a level 1 out of 5 threat, a level 2 out of 5 threat for our far eastern counties. Why are we going to be anticipating that? Different system will be swinging through. We'll have a cold frontal system that'll tap into more of that moisture and instability and promote the chance for more showers and storms. As of now, not looking like too much severe weather will be possible associated with it, even though a stronger thunderstorm will be in the probability factor, but we're just looking at saturated soils, so any additional rainfall could lead to some isolated to scattered instances of flooding. Big headlines for the day. Big high pressure system is causing warm and dry conditions across the western half of the United States. Things are really hot, especially for us off towards the west. Meanwhile, we have a big system that's going to move through portions of the Midwest, upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, and across the Great Lakes. We're looking at a level 3 to 4 across these areas out of 5 for severe weather. Potential for lots of tornadoes into these spots, and the potential for heavy rainfall accumulations and gusty winds upwards of 60 miles per hour or stronger, even some hailstones possible into those spots. Up into the coast, low pressure system that'll continue to move up to the north and to the east. This has now been named Tropical Storm Arthur. That's what we're watching here across the Lone Star State, especially for those folks who are going to the Houston World Cup game. That's the folks that will be impacted by this tropical storm through the rest of the day today. But heavy rain and flooding is going to be one of the primary concerns there. Across the entire Lone Star State, though, we're looking at really hot temperatures. Heat index values up to 110 will be possible as we move into our Thursday evening, and Thursday into the overnight, still holding on to some very warm temperatures. Heat advisory in effect for the day tomorrow for Dallas, Abilene, Lubbock, over towards Fort Stockton. That's going to include Corpus Christi. An excessive heat warning over towards Roswell and Austin, San Antonio. Into those spots in particular, really intense heat will be expected, but make sure you're taking precautions, drinking plenty of water, not only tomorrow, which is our first alert weather day due to the heat, but also today, because heat index values will be in the triple digits. 106 is what it's going to feel like today, 110 tomorrow. Friday, it'll feel 107, and Saturday, 106. It's going to be hot Again, if you're headed to the World Cup game today, there's a look at the Dallas Stadium. 81 degrees right now, winds from the south around 9 miles per hour. Temperatures will be in the 90s, but the feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water if you're going to the England versus Croatia game. We are dry here across North Texas. Dry conditions will be expected over the next 48 hours. It's not until we head into Friday when I'm tracking the chance for a couple rumbles of thunder for eastern counties and up and along the Red River Valley. That's why Juneteenth could be impacted for some showers and storms. Active forecast through the rest of your Father's Day weekend. Again, it'll be hot. Make sure you're taking precautions. We'll continue to track the Gulf as we watch Tropical Storm Arthur move to the northeast, bringing lots of heavy rain and flooding impacts. Thank you so much for joining us here on our CBS News Texas stream. We'll be streaming on the CBS News app, Pluto TV, the Roku channel, and Samsung TV Plus. Thank you so much for joining us here on your Wednesday. Tune in at 11 for our actual newscast, and I'll be streaming again at 12. Make sure you tune in for that. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
This is CBS News, Texas.
Let's get over to assignment editor Danica Hill, who's live in our newsroom.
So, Danica, I understand you're following a shooting that happened overnight in Dallas. What do you know so far?
Yeah, that's right. We do know that Dallas police are searching for suspects accused of shooting and killing a woman who they say were just caught in the crossfire. So I want you to take a look at some of the video we were able to get from the scene. It happened really early this morning at an apartment complex near Walnut Street and Aldelia Road in the North Lake Highlands neighborhood. Now, according to police there on the scene, they say the two suspects were shooting at each other and then they hit that woman. She was taken to the hospital, but again, did later die. And you could see just a large police presence there as they're working to investigate all of this. Right now, police don't have any suspect information, and it's also not clear exactly what led up to this. Police are asking for anybody with information to contact them. If you are in the area, saw anything, heard anything, to please contact police. I have reached out to Dallas Police this morning to try and get some more details. As soon as we get those in, I'll bring them to you here from the desk.
Today could be a pivotal day for the future of Dallas City Hall. The City Council is expected to vote on a planning relocation site for the City Hall, shifting momentum away from repairs. And what we're hearing now is from the building's architect's family, who is now trying to save it. Lacey Beasley joins us from City Hall with that side of the story and that family's reaction. Good morning, Lacey.
Good morning, Madison. And the name of that famous architect is I.M. Pei. He designed this building right after JFK's assassination, and his goal was to bring hope back to the city. Now his surviving children are fighting to keep Dallas City Hall here and their father's legacy.
He invested a great deal of time. It took almost a decade to build, to design it, to build. And so it is one of the most important projects in his career.
Today, the council votes on whether to start negotiating and planning relocation sites for City Hall. The city estimates repairs to the current building could cost more than $500 million. Last week, the council rejected moving forward with those repairs in a 9-6 vote. In a memo this week, Mayor Eric Johnson wrote that, quote, relocation will be a far more cost-effective use of taxpayer dollars, calling City Hall, quote, a dilapidated government office building, though the Pay family sees it differently.
I think to lose such a building of such enormous architectural significance would be enormous loss to the city of Dallas and to the nation.
Now, city leaders say repairs are an option, though it's not the focus right now. And that special meeting starts in less than an hour at 8 o'clock.
Well, this morning, one person is dead and at least 5 others are hurt after a small jet crashed down in South Texas overnight.
So the Cessna Citation Latitude business jet crashed Tuesday night, hitting the ground. You see there in the middle of a highway. That's Laredo's Loop 20. The crash shut down traffic in both directions, and you see from that witness video that was taken from the scene, emergency crews and also bystanders all trying to help people get out of that burning aircraft. An airport official says the plane might have experienced some sort of mechanical failure, which could have played a factor in that crash.
We also have video this morning that shows the moment Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice ran out of the Dallas County Jail after his release on Tuesday morning. So our cameras were rolling outside the jail there as one of our photographers tried to ask Rice some questions, but he quickly hopped in a car and then he rode away.
Hey, Rashee, you got anything to say to your fans, bro?
All right, that was our photojournalist, Tim Anders. He was trying to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. The former SMU star, he ran out after serving 30 days for a parole violation following his plea deal from a high-speed crash that happened back in 2024. The Chiefs say they expect him back on the field very soon.
We are halfway through the year and now 100 days from the State Fair of Texas, and all the iconic fun of the fair returns to Fair Park in September. The State Fair announcing this morning the free Chevrolet main stage music lineup. Fairgoers will be able to experience all sorts of different genres of live music. We've got Lee Brice, Clint Black, Kansas, Gym Class Heroes, and the Toadies, and a few other performers as well. The full list is available right now on the State Fair's website. By the way, go ahead and mark that calendar because the State Fair of Texas begins September 25th and runs through October 18th.
So many people already counting down the clock. Well, the second World Cup match in North Texas is now just hours away. England and Croatia open their World Cup run this afternoon over at Dallas Stadium in Arlington.
And Lauren Crawford is live once again this morning at Lowe's Hotel in Arlington. Good morning, Lauren.
Hey, good morning, Madison. That's right. And this is one of the most highly anticipated matches of the group stage. Now, England and Croatia will meet here at the Dallas Stadium on the field at 3 o'clock. And for England, it's a chance to rewrite a disappointing chapter in its World Cup history. Now, today's game is a rematch of the 2018 World Cup semifinal. Croatia won that one, then played in the final. England has not lost to them since and comes in as a favorite to win the whole thing. England's captain, 32-year-old Harry Kane, is his country's all-time top scorer. Meanwhile, Croatia fans filled the streets of downtown Dallas last night in a huge parade ahead of this game, a spectacle rivaling the Dutch crowds wearing all orange last week. Now, back out here live in Arlington, there's also a local connection here today. Croatia's expected striker Peter Musa actually plays right here for FC Dallas. And coming up in the next 30 minutes, we'll take a look at how fans from both teams kicked off celebrations last night and throughout the week leading up to today's highly anticipated game. Live in Arlington, Lauren Crawford, CBS News, Texas.
Michael, you've warned us that things are really starting to heat up around here in North Texas. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Carmen and Madison. Yes, we're going to really start to heat up here across North Texas. Today, temperatures will be into the middle 90s. Feels like temperatures as hot as 105 and 106 hour by hour.